So in the last class എന്താണ് നമ്മൾ കണ്ടത്? ഇൻപുട്ട് ഔട്ട്പുട്ട് ലീനിയറൈസേഷൻ ൻ്റെ ഒരു മോട്ടിവേഷൻ കണ്ടു. So after that what you saw was, if you are given a system x dot is equal to f of x plus g of x into u and an output y is equal to h of x, we wanted to linearize the output using an input u. അപ്പോൾ അതിന് നമ്മൾ എന്ത് ചെയ്തു? സോ വി ട്രൈ ടു ഫൈൻഡ് ഔട്ട് ദ റിലേറ്റീവ് ഡിഗ്രി ഓഫ് ദ സിസ്റ്റം. റിലേറ്റീവ് ഡിഗ്രി കണ്ടുപിടിച്ചു. റിലേറ്റീവ് ഡിഗ്രി ഇഫ് ലെറ്റ് മീ കോൾ ഇറ്റ് ആസ് റോ, ഇഫ് റോ ഇസ് ഈക്വൽ ടു എൻ എന്നുള്ള കേസ് നമ്മൾ സ്റ്റഡി ചെയ്തു. സോ വാട്ട് ഹാപ്പൻസ്, how to linearize the whole system when the relative degree is equal to n. So that was what we saw. So one second. Okay. അപ്പം റിലേറ്റീവ് ഡിഗ്രി n ആണെങ്കിൽ ഹൗ ഡു യു ലീനിയറൈസ് ദ ഹോൾ സിസ്റ്റം യൂസിങ് ആൻ ഇൻപുട്ട് യു എന്നുള്ളത് നമ്മൾ കണ്ടു. സോ വാട്ട് ഡിഡ് വി ഡു? വി ചൂസ് എ ഡിഫറെൻറ്റ് സ്റ്റേറ്റ് വേരിയബിൾ z is equal to some t of x. So for that we chose z1 as h of x, z2 as lf h of x, etc. up to z rho which is equal to n, z rho equal to n as lf, this is rho minus 1 times of h of x. Okay, up to rho minus 1 times of h of x we don't have the next term. Lg of lf rho minus 2 h of x is not there because the relative degree is equal to rho. Okay, so here it is actually lf n minus 1 times of h of x. So we got z dot, which was denoted as zeta dot, as equal to some ac into zeta plus bc into u, actually not u, it is bc into v, and y is equal to zeta. Okay, so we saw this representation. This is how we try to linearize the whole system when rho is equal to n. Rho is equal to the number of states of the system or the order of the system. Okay, now we will go and look at a problem where rho is less than. Okay, so we will see the next case where rho is less than. Okay, അപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ റോ ഇസ് ലെസ് ദാൻ n, നമുക്കിപ്പം ഇഫ് ഐ ആം ഗോയിങ് ടു ചൂസ് എ സെറ്റ് ഓഫ് സ്റ്റേറ്റ് വേരിയബിൾസ് ഹിയർ, ഇനിഷ്യലി എ സെറ്റ് ഓഫ് സ്റ്റേറ്റ് വേരിയബിൾസ് ഹിയർ സച്ച് ദാറ്റ് the input appears in the state variables. Okay, so how am I going to choose for rho less than n also? First we have to choose up to rho. So we have z1 is equal to h of x, z2 is equal to lf h of x. Here everything is same. പക്ഷേ നമുക്ക് അവിടുന്ന് നമുക്ക് ഇസഡ് റോ വരെ നമുക്ക് ചൂസ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റത്തുള്ളൂ. കാരണം എന്ന് വെച്ചിട്ട് ഇസഡ് റോ ആയിക്കഴിഞ്ഞപ്പം അവർ ഇൻപുട്ട് ഇസഡ് റോ ഡോട്ട് എടുക്കുമ്പോൾ നമ്മുടെ ഇൻപുട്ട് അവിടെ അപ്പിയർ ചെയ്യും. സോ വി ഹാവ് ഹിയർ എൽഎഫ് റോ മൈനസ് 1 ടൈംസ് ഓഫ് എച്ച് ഓഫ് എക്സ്. ദിസ് ഇംപ്ലൈസ്, ലെറ്റ് മീ കോൾ ദീസ് ടേംസ് ആസ് zeta. So this implies z1 dot is equal to z2. ഇത് നമുക്ക് കിട്ടിയതാണ് ലാസ്റ്റ് ക്ലാസ്സിൽ. z2 dot is equal to z3. Till here everything is same as the previous thing. z rho dot is equal to lf rho h of x plus lg lf rho minus 1 times of what h of x into u. So here what I will choose here, u as, here we will choose u as u as equal to 1 by lg lf rho minus 1 times of h of x into v minus lf rho times h of x. So I will end up with z rho dot is equal to v. So we will have this much linearized. The states from z1 dot to z rho will be linearized. So and what will be the output here? So we have the output as output y definitely as equal to output y എന്ന് പറയുന്നതാണ് നമ്മുടെ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യനിൽ in our question, our output y is equal to h of x, right? In our system, the whole system, we have output y is equal to h of x. Here h of x is equal to z1, so our output y is equal to z1. So I can write this as 1 0 0 0 0 etc. up to this and zeta up to rho. There is another some more terms also here. We will see what those terms are here. It will be zeta times of this, and let me call this as next terms as eta. We will come to this later on. So നമുക്ക് റോ വരെയുള്ള സ്റ്റേറ്റ്സ് കിട്ടി. സോ ഹൗ മെനി സ്റ്റേറ്റ്സ് വിൽ ബി ദെയർ ഫോർ ദ സിസ്റ്റം? എത്ര സ്റ്റേറ്റ്സ് ഉണ്ടാവും? Even if we do a transformation, here there are n states for the system. So x is an element of Rn. So there are n states for the system. Since there are n states for the system, the transformation will also have to have n states, right? So what happens to the rest of the states? So I have to find out the rest of the states also. Rho, z rho plus 1, z rho plus 2, etc. up to it has to go to zn. Okay, zn. So we will see what these terms are. For these terms, we have to choose these terms. Let me choose these terms as psi 1 of x, psi 2 of x, etc. up to this is psi n minus rho times of x. കാരണം ഇത് n minus rhoയും കൂടിയുണ്ട്, ഇത്രയും കൂടെ ആഡ് ചെയ്ത് വരുമ്പോൾ this is psi n minus, let me call this as psi n minus rho times of x. So the condition that we put on these psi's are that dou psi I by dou x into g of x should be equal to 0, so that the whole system will be in normal form. Okay, ഇതാണ് നമ്മുടെ condition. That means the condition, there is a condition that has been imposed on these psi i's. The psi i's, psi I dou psi I by dou x into g of x is equal to 0, such this term is imposed to be 0, so that ഈ term 0 ആയി കഴിഞ്ഞാലുള്ള പ്രത്യേകത എന്താണ്? If I have some psi I of x, let it be x1 plus x2 plus x3, let it be some psi I. അപ്പം ഈ psi I ൽ ഇമ്പോസ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്ന കണ്ടീഷൻ എന്താണ്? Let psi 1 be equal to this. The condition on this psi 1 of x is such that if I take dou psi I x by dou x into gx, that into gx term will be equal to 0. Okay, into gx term will be equal to 0. So if I take psi I dot of x എടുക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ, psi I dot of x എടുക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ എന്തായിരിക്കും? dou psi I x by dou x into x dot ആണ് അല്ലേ? into x dot. What is x dot here? dou psi I x by dou x into f of x plus g of x into u. So what is the condition? If I say that dou any psi of I, dou psi of I by dou x into g of x is equal to 0, it means that the u terms will not appear in the rest of the states. ഈ സ്റ്റേറ്റ്സിലൊന്നും u terms appear ചെയ്യുന്നില്ല. That means they are independent of the input here. Here we don't have an input dependence on these variables. Okay, so let me call these variables as eta. Let me call these variables as eta. So and these variables are in fact called the dynamics of these variables represent the internal dynamics of the system. This much represent the internal dynamics of the system. I will come to that. Dynamics of the system. So let me explain it once again. If the relative degree of a system is less than n, what we have to do? We will have at the rhoth derivative, is that rho dot, we will have the u term appearing in the system, in the equation. Dynamics u term appear in, so we will have to stop with that, and then what happens? We have to choose the rest of the states in such a way that dou psi I by dou x into g of x is equal to 0, and the whole system represented in this form is actually we call it as the whole system is actually in the normal form. If the whole system is represented in this form, we say that the whole system is in the normal form. Then we can say that it is in the normal form. I will write a representation for that so how will you write zeta? Zeta dot is equal to AC into zeta plus BC into V, and eta dot. So I am going to, I have separated these terms. So ivada vechi namukku separate cheyam, because zeta dot here I can write it as AC into zeta, because this depends upon Z2, Z3 etc., and finally we have the V here. So I can write here as AC into zeta plus BC into V here, and eta dot here is something which depends which may depend upon zeta as well as eta also. So it can have terms from Z1, Z2 etc. up to Z row, and also terms from these state variables. So I can write this is a function of zeta and eta, but it will not have the u term here. So this representation, and what is y here? Y is equal to some Cc into eta, Cc into eta. So this representation is called the normal form of the system, normal form representation, normal form representation. Okay, so why is this term important here? Why is this term important here? For example, if I have a linear system, g of s is equal to s plus 1 divided by s plus 2 into s plus 3. What is the order of the system? Order of the system is n, and this is the numerator degree is n, denominator degree let me call it as m. So m here it is equal to 1, n here it is equal to 2. So what is the relative degree of this system? The relative degree is here is equal to 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. So what happens for a linear time invariant system? What happens is that like there are two dynamics here. There will be x1 dot and x2 dot, and one of the dynamics will be linearized and one of the dynamics will be left over. For example, I have some x1 dot here and x2 dot here and some y here. So one of the dynamics will be linearized along with y. What is left over here is x2 dot. So this x2 dot will be a function of maybe x1 and x2, which may be a linearized function or a non-linearized function. So what we usually do is we try to design the problem based on these two x1 dot and y, and we say that the system is stable with respect to x1 dot and y. But what remains is the x2 dot. x2 dot in the dynamics in a patti nammal chindikkannade illa. So when we try to solve a problem for this system, for example, namukku oru point innu mattoru point like output y track cheyidu ponennu vicharikku. That means I want to track the output. So I want to move from this point to this point, and I am trying to track it every time instant. Ella time instant la nammal ee path follow cheyidu ponennu vicharikka. So we use idine linearize cheyidittannu we are trying to do this system. Linearize we are not thinking about the leftover dynamic. This is the leftover dynamics of the system. This is something which is left over here. This is the leftover dynamics of the system, which is in fact the internal dynamic. This is actually called the internal dynamics of the system. Appam adil ആ ഡൈനാമിക്സ് സ്റ്റേബിൾ ആണെങ്കിൽ മാത്രമേ നമുക്ക് ഇതിൻ്റെ അകത്തൊരു പ്രോപ്പർ ഡിസൈൻ, ഈ x1 ഡോട്ടും വൈയും വെച്ചിട്ട് ഒരു പ്രോപ്പർ ഡിസൈൻ നമുക്ക് ഒരു ലീനിയർ ഡിസൈൻ നമുക്ക് ഇതിൻ്റെ അകത്ത് കൊണ്ടുവരാൻ പറ്റത്തുള്ളൂ. സോ വെനെവർ വി ട്രൈ ടു ഡു ആൻ ഇൻപുട്ട് ഔട്ട്പുട്ട് ലീനിയറൈസേഷൻ ഫോർ സിസ്റ്റംസ് വിത്ത് relative degree less than the order of the system, what we have to think about is the internal dynamics of the system, or whatever is left over, or the leftover dynamics of the system, whatever is left over. So here we know, like we can study the dynamics of the system. ഈ ഒരു Z1 to Z റോയുടെ സ്റ്റെബിലിറ്റിയെ പറ്റി നമുക്ക് ഈസിലി ലീനിയർ ടെക്നിക്സ് വെച്ചിട്ട് സ്റ്റഡി ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും. പക്ഷേ ഹിയർ വാട്ട് ഈസ് ലെഫ്റ്റ് ഓവർ ഇസ് സംതിങ് what is happening inside the system, which is this is called the internally എന്തൊക്കെ അതിൻ്റെ അകത്ത് സംഭവിക്കുന്നുണ്ട് എന്നുള്ളത് നമുക്ക് പഠിക്കേണ്ടതായിട്ടിരിക്കുന്നു. So that is called the internal dynamics of the system. So now let us see what is zero dynamics of the system. Zero dynamics in the Varninia, we are trying to put, give zero dynamics. See, we will see what is zero dynamics. Zero dynamics in the Varninia. So, what happens, suppose I keep my output y as equal to 0 using some input u. Using some input u, I am trying to pull in this y as equal to 0. At that time, if y is equal to 0, what happens? If y is equal to 0, zeta will be equal to 0. That means, even when the output of a system is 0, output of this kind of a system is 0, using, we have tried to plug in the output of the system as 0 using some input u, and there will be some internal dynamics of the system that is playing inside the system. That means, eta dot is equal to f of zeta comma eta. This is some internal dynamics which will always be there in the system. Appam y 0 ambam edi terms aanu ivide 0 avunna. If y is equal to 0, zeta will be equal to 0. Okay, zeta, if zeta is equal to 0, I make all the zeta dots as also equal to 0. So, what happens to these eta dots? What happens to the internally? What happens to the system? There will be some dynamics, some alterations that is still be inside the system even when the output is equal to 0. അതിനെയാണ് നമ്മൾ zero dynamics എന്ന് വിളിക്കുന്നത്. So, zero dynamics is found out by putting eta dot is equal to f of zeta will be equal to 0, 0 comma eta. Okay. So, this the dynamics of the system when the output is pushed into 0 using some input is called the zero dynamics of a system. So, zero dynamics is studied by studying the stability of eta dot is equal to f of 0 comma zeta. So, we will look at a problem and understand what we had discussed till now. So, let me ask you something. So, we will have so let us do a problem. നമുക്ക് ഒരുമിച്ച് ചെയ്യാം problem. So, look at this problem. x1 dot is equal to, I will take a simple problem here. Okay. Question here. X1 dot, all of you do it. X1 dot is equal to x2 minus alpha times x1 cubed. X2 dot is equal to 2x2 cube plus u. X3 dot is equal to x1 plus x2 cube minus 3x3 cube. Okay. And I have this y as equal to x1. So, let us look at this problem here. First what you have to find out here is the relative degree. So, let us see what is the relative degree of the system. Relative degree is rho. So, what is the relative degree here? How will you find out the relative degree? Y is equal to h of x is equal to x1, y dot is equal to x1 dot. അങ്ങനെയും കണ്ടുപിടിക്കാം എളുപ്പം. LF of h of x എടുക്കണം എന്നില്ല. x1 dot is equal to x2 minus alpha x1 cube. Okay. So, here I don't have an u. So, relative degree is not equal to 1. So, I will take y double dot. Y double dot is equal to x2 dot minus alpha into 3x1 squared into x1 dot. Okay. So, x2 dot is 2x2 cube plus u minus alpha 3 alpha times x1 squared into x1 dot is here x2 minus alpha x1 cube. So, you can find out y dot നമ്മൾ നോർമൽ ഫോമിൽ കണ്ടുപിടിക്കുന്ന പോലെ നമുക്ക് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കാം. And also you can find out y dot using this formulation, dou h of x by dou x into f of x plus dou h of x by dou x into g of x into u ഫോമിലും നമുക്ക് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കാം. So normally നമ്മൾ straight away നമുക്ക് we can find out. So we can use a matrix formulation and also use find out these values. Okay, so here we saw that at the second derivative of y, this u term has appeared here, right? U term has appeared here, and so what is rho? Rho is equal to 2. What is the order of the system? N is equal to 3. So now we have rho less than n. Okay, so rho is less than n. So how will you choose the states here? How will you choose the states here? What is Z1? Z1 is equal to, parayu,
h of x.
H of x.
x1.
H of x, that is equal to x1. What is Z2? രണ്ടെണ്ണം ഉണ്ട് അല്ലേ? Z2 എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് റോ ആണ്. സോ ഇസ് ഈക്വൽ ടു റോ ഈക്വൽ ടു LFH of x, right? LFH of x. What is LFH of x? LFH of x എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് y dot ആണ് അല്ലേ? ഇതല്ലേ? x2 minus alpha x1 squared. So this is actually LFH of x. ഇതിൻ്റെ അകത്ത് LG term ഇല്ല because here y dot does not have an LG term here. So this is what is it? x2 minus alpha x1 cubed. So this is x2 minus alpha x1 cubed. ഇതെല്ലാവരും ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുക. So otherwise you will not understand this problem. x2 minus alpha x1 cubed. So what is x1 dot? Z1 dot is equal to Z2. Z2 dot is equal to nothing but what we got here, the third one, this part is Z2 dot. So how will you simplify it and write it? വേഗം ചെയ്തോളൂ, നിങ്ങൾ തന്നെ ചെയ്തോളൂ. What is Z2 dot is this part. So here let me write it here, let me look at it and write it here. Wait, it is 2, I will copy it here, this part I will copy. So this comes here, this comes here, Z2 dot is this. So I have here, okay, Z2 dot is this. So this becomes equal to we will write it in neatly as 2x2 cube x3 cubed minus 3 alpha x1 squared x2 plus 3 alpha squared x1 squared x1 cube plus u, right? Plus u. Okay, so I can find out a u which linearizes the system. How will I find out the u which linearizes the system? What is that u which linearizes the system? This is x1 raised to 5. Actually it is actually x1 raised to 5 here. X1 raised to 5 plus u plus what is the u that linearizes the system? U is equal to g here is 1, here whatever is beta x is here is equal to 1, so 1 by 1 into this is v minus of 2x3 cube plus 3 alpha x1 squared x2 minus 3 alpha squared x1 raised to 5. So I have z1 dot and z2 dot as z1 dot is equal to, I'll write with yellow color here, z1 dot is equal to z2 and z2 dot is equal to v. Definitely our y will be equal to z1, okay, h of x, so it is equal to x1. So what about z3? So that is the term that we have not found out till now. So let us go and look out what is z3. z3, let me call it as psi of x. ഒരു z3 ഉള്ളതുകൊണ്ട് I will not write it as psi1 of x, psi2 of x എന്ന് എഴുതുന്നില്ല. Let me call it as psi of x. So what is the condition that has to be on psi of x? So to represent it in normal form, that is the derivative of psi with respect to x into g of x should be equal to 0. That is the condition on psi. So what is the condition on this psi of x? That is dou psi by dou x into g of x should be equal to 0. So what does this imply? What is dou psi by dou x? I can write it as this term is dou psi by dou x1, dou psi by dou x2, dou psi by dou x3, right? There are 3 terms. X is 3 order 3. So I have, it is a vector of this form, into what is g of x here? What is the term g of x here? So this is our calculation side. So what is g of x? If you look at the problem, what is g of x here? G of x is actually 0, 1, 0. So I will show you, it is 0, 1, 0. See here I don't have a g of x into u. So here it is 0. Here I have 1 here, and here there is no u term. So here also it is 0. So g of x is 0, 1, 0. So it is something like this, 0, 1, 0 should be equal to 0. So I should choose some psi in such a way that this product should be equal to 0. So this implies that, what does this imply? Dou psi by dou x2 into 1 should be equal to 0. Dou psi by dou x2 into 1 should be equal to 0. So this term is equal to, this is a constant. So dou psi by dou x2 equal to 0 means that psi, suddenly we can say that psi is a function which does not depend upon x2, upon x2. x2നെ ഡിപ്പെൻഡ് ചെയ്യുന്നില്ല എന്നുള്ളൊരു കേസ് മാത്രമേ നമുക്ക് ഇവിടെ പറയാൻ പറ്റത്തുള്ളൂ. സോ psi is some function which depends upon x1 and x3. x1നെ x3യെ ഡിപ്പെൻഡ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു ഫംഗ്ഷനാണ് psi എന്ന് നമുക്ക് പറയാൻ പറ്റും. സോ ലെറ്റ് us now assume psi as, സോ കാരണം ഈ ഒരു ഇക്വേഷൻ വെച്ചിട്ട് psi എന്താണെന്ന് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കാൻ പറ്റത്തില്ല. കാരണം എന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഡോ psi by ഡോ x1 into 0 and ഡോ psi by ഡോ x3 into 0 ആണ് വരുന്നത്. സോ വി ഹാവ് ടു ചൂസ് psi arbitrarily. Only thing that we know is psi is something which does not depend upon x2. So it can have x1 terms, it may not have x1 terms, it can have x3 terms. So it is an arbitrary value which depends, arbitrary function which depends upon x1 and x3. So let us choose. So I will choose something, choose psi as. So ഇവിടെ നമുക്ക് psi ചൂസ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ ഇവിടെ ഒരു വേറെ കുറച്ചും കൂടെ ഒരു ഭംഗിയായിട്ട് ചൂസ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ, if you look at the problem, like once you start doing a lot of problems, what you come to see here, if you take the derivative, ഇവിടെ ഡെറിവേറ്റീവ് എടുത്ത് വന്നപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ എന്താ നോക്കിയെന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ വൈയുടെ ഡെറിവേറ്റീവിൽ x1 ഉണ്ട്. If you look at y, we can see that y x1 dot in the dynamics have been acquired in the y derivative, and y double dot we came up to rho equal to 2 വരെ നമ്മൾ വന്നു അല്ലേ. So we came up to rho equal to 2. So when we came up to rho equal to 2, we also came up to z x2 dot in the derivative നമ്മൾ വന്നു. So what was left over was a x3 dot derivative which has not been included in this, which was derivative has, dynamics has not been included here. x3 term ഉണ്ട്, പക്ഷേ അതിൻ്റെ ഡൈനാമിക്സ് നമുക്ക് ഇതിൻ്റെ അകത്ത് ഇൻക്ലൂഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ല. സോ we can arbitrarily choose psi of x as equal to some x3. Even if you choose psi of x as equal to x1 plus x3 is also fine. x1 plus x3 is also fine, but we want to make the problem a bit more simpler. So let us choose psi of x as equal to x3. So only thing is that here whatever was this problem is, we tried when we are looking at this problem, we are thinking about the leftover dynamics. So what is the leftover dynamics here? x3 dot is the leftover dynamics. If we look at here also, we can see that x3 dot is something which is the leftover dynamics of the system. Relation between the x3 dot dynamics is something which is leftover in the system. So that is the leftover dynamics. So that is why let us choose psi of x as x3. It doesn't matter even if you choose psi of x as x1 plus x3, പക്ഷെ നമ്മൾ അതിൻ്റെ ഡെറിവേറ്റീവ് ഒക്കെ എടുക്കുമ്പോൾ കൂടുതൽ ടേംസ് വരുന്നുണ്ട്. So we choose psi of x as x3. So our z3 is equal to, so our z3 we have chosen as psi of x is equal to x3. So what is x3 here? Z3 dot dynamics aanalo venda. So Z3 dot is equal to x3 dot. So what is x3 dot here? X1 plus x2 cubed minus 3x3 cube here. So our what is the exact dynamics? What was the dynamics of the system? Z1 dot is equal to Z2, Z2 dot is equal to V, and Y is equal to Z1. So we have the last term Z3 dot. Z3 dot here it is in terms of x1, x2 and x3. So we have to convert it into the Z1, Z2, Z3 parts. So let us go back and look at the equation and see what are these x1s, x2s and x3s here. So here we can see here Z1 x1 is equal to Z1. So I can write here x1 as equal to Z1. x1 is nothing but Z1, and x3 is also Z3, right? x3 is Z3. So I have x3 as is equal to Z3. So what is x2? What is x2 here? How will you get x2 here? So we have to find out this. See, if you look Z2 as here as equal to x2 minus alpha x1 cube, right? x2 minus alpha x1 cube. So what is Z2? X2 here? X2 is nothing but Z2 minus alpha Z1 cube, right? X2 is Z2 minus Z2 plus alpha Z1 cube, right? So I have x2 as equal to Z2 minus alpha Z1 plus alpha Z1 cube, right? So we have to plug in all these terms over here. So this is Z1 plus x2 cube is this Z2 plus alpha Z1 the whole cube, Z1 cube the whole cube, then minus 3 x3 cube Z3 cube. So we have got all the states here. Z1 dot is equal to Z2, Z2 dot is equal to V, and Y is equal to Z1, and here Z3 dot is equal to Z1 plus Z2 plus alpha Z1 cube the whole cube minus 3 Z3 cube. If you want to write it in proper form, how will you separate it? This term we can write it as zeta dot is equal to AC into zeta plus BC into V, and this term I can write it as Y is equal to CC into zeta. Only thing you have to represent it in the what is AC here? AC is equal to 0, 1, 0, 0, and BC is equal to 0 and 1. What is CC? CC is equal to 1, 0. So that's all. So that is about this. So what is zeta here? Zeta is equal to Z1, Z2. Okay, so we have this form here, and the last term we can write it in terms of eta. Adana in the normal representation. So eta dot is something which is a function of zeta as well as eta. Eta is nothing but Z3 term. So it is a function of, it has both eta terms and zeta terms here. So we have the internal dynamics as this. This is the internal dynamics of the system. This is the internal dynamics of the system. So now the last part, which is the most important part here. So now we are going to the last part here. 1 second. It's not moving. So we have got the internal dynamics. I will just copy out the internal dynamics to the next sheet. So this is the internal dynamics of the system. So this is in fact the internal dynamics of the system. Now what is the zero dynamics? What is the zero dynamics? എന്താണ് zero dynamics? In the internal dynamics, when the output is equal to 0. When the output, if we put it as 0, then we have the zero dynamics of the system. Okay. So we have output y equal to 0 means implies zeta equal to 0. Right. So we have when zeta equal to 0, eta dot is equal to f of 0 comma zeta. Zeta, this is the zero dynamics of the system. So this is called the zero dynamics of the system. So we can check whether the zero is the zero dynamics stable. Dynamics stable. The question is the zero dynamics stable? So how will you check whether the zero dynamics is stable? ഈ ഒരു ഇക്വേഷനിൽ zeta terms എല്ലാം 0 ആക്കി കൊടുക്കുക. Zeta terms 0 ആക്കുക എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ what is zeta? Zeta is equal to z1, z2. All z1s and z2s has to be equal to 0. So we have z3 dot as equal to, so we have finally z3 dot as equal to z1 0 ആണ്, z2 0 ആണ്. Okay. So z3 dot will end up with minus 3 z3 cube. So now we have the zero dynamics as this term. Now how will you check the stability of this term? This term in the stability കണ്ടുപിടിക്കാനായിട്ട് definitely I know z3 cube minus ഇവിടെ വന്നുകൊണ്ട് this system is definitely asymptotically stable. You can use the Lyapunov method to asymptotically stable. This is asymptotically stable. So yeah, I will just show you how to use v of x is equal to z1 cube കൊടുക്കുക, z1 squared, sorry, z3 square, choose v of x as equal to z3 squared, v dot of x is equal to 2 z3 squared into z3 dot. So it will lead up to 2 z3 squared into minus 3 z3 raised to 3. So it is minus 6 z3 raised to 5. So this is always negative definite. Sorry, this is 2z2 ആണ്, z3 raised to 4 വരും. Sorry, this cannot be. I did a mistake. z3 into z3 dot. So this is not there. So this becomes z3 raised to 4. So this is z3 raised to 4 is always positive. So this is always negative definite. So system is asymptotically stable. So the zero dynamics of the system is asymptotically stable for the system. Okay. So this is about the zero dynamics of the system. Okay. So that means even if the control signal, like that means we are choosing here a control signal which guarantees that the output is stable. Output, that means we are trying to define a controller for tracking control or something like that. Even if this controller designs the output to be stable, there will be some states which will not be stable. There will be some states which will be which can cause the system to instability, and that states are called the internal dynamics of the system. So we have to study about the internal dynamics of the system, which is in fact this term, which is a very important term here. And the internal dynamics is studied by putting in the output as continuously is equal to 0. Okay. That means if the output is continuously equal to 0, what is the dynamics of the system? Even if the output is 0, there will be something internally which is going to be unbounded, can go to unboundedness. So അതിനെയാണ് നമ്മൾ zero dynamics എന്ന് വിളിക്കുന്നത്. Okay. So another important condition that I will try to summarize here is like suppose I will give an example later on as a note here, note to you. For example, I have a g of s is equal to a linear system. നമ്മൾ zero dynamics നെ പറ്റി പറയുമ്പോൾ ഒരു linear system, I have two systems like this, s minus 1 by s plus 1 into s plus 2, and I have another this is g1 of s and this is g2 of s as equal to s plus 1 by this is s plus 2 and s plus 3. I want to take the same order, s plus 2 into s plus 3. Both the systems are having the same order, both the systems are having the same poles here. Here if you look at this poles, it is at minus 2 and minus 3, and whereas the 0 is at minus 1. Here if you look at the poles and zeros, here the poles are at minus 2 and minus 3, and the 0 is at 1 here, here 1, the 0 is at 1 here. So what you can, when you speak about the stability of the system as a whole, what we see is we look at the poles of the system and speak about the stability of the system. So here the system is stable, here also the system is stable, here also the system is stable. But if you look at the zeros of the system, what we can see that in this system the 0 is on the right half plane, in this system the 0 is on the left half plane. So this system where the zeros are on the left half plane, we call it as a minimum phase system, and where the zeros are on the right half plane, we call it as a non-minimum phase system, minimum phase system. Okay. So, so let me try to link these two problems here. That means when we speak about the zero dynamic stability of the system, the zero dynamics will be stable for a minimum phase system, whereas the zero dynamics will be unstable for a non-minimum phase system. Okay. So I will send you a problem where I will compare these two problems and show that the zero dynamics is unstable for a non-minimum phase system, and here for a minimum phase system it is stable. It is also given in the Slaughton textbook, showing an example which shows that it is stable for a minimum phase and a non-minimum phase system. So in case a question comes in that sort, also you can answer it in that form. Like you can speak in terms of linear time invariant system, where you can say that for minimum phase system we require to have the poles on the left of the imaginary axis, so that we can have the zero dynamic stability for the system. Okay. So this is about stability and zero dynamics and input output linearization. Okay. So my slides are not moving. Okay. Idana about, I will give you some problems based on this. I will stop it.